Why aren't you there?
I should be. Kids, we're talking Dave Matthews Band and marketing, really marketing, but I'm going to throw some Dave Matthews Band. That's why I met this dude, Todd Baldwin. He's going to help you to understand marketing in 30 minutes, and people, you are going to get some value out of this. What's up, Todd Baldwin?
Hey, Kenner. Good to see you, man.
Yeah, I met Todd years ago at a Dave Matthews event. As most of you know, I'm a Dave Matthews Band follower. I travel all over the world. He travels all over the place to see Dave also, but we're going to try to put that in the back burner for now. More than anything, we're going to add value to you guys. You know, obviously, Todd knows you guys are all over the country, some all over the world in some cases, big time real estate investors. He, by the way, works with the real estate investors as far as marketing goes, and he does know a thing or two about marketing. So let's add some value. I'm going to add some value right off the bat by a question, and you're going to add some value, Todd, with an answer. How's that sound? Okay, number one, if I'm let's say I'm an investor and I run a business, whatever, I'm selling widgets. What's the number one thing I should think about in general as it relates to marketing?
Ken, that's a great question, because first and foremost, I believe every business owner, entrepreneur, real estate investor, you name it, should have a website that they actually own. There's a lot of websites out there that are rental platforms. They're quick, they're easy, they're cheap, but you don't own it. You don't own the content. You don't own anything about it. So if you ever leave, you lose your website. So to me, it all starts with having a nice foundation, and that foundation of your digital footprint is your website.
Yeah, well, it's funny because, we deal with a lot of investors who, they might have whatever portfolio of whatever, a couple hundred buildings, or whatever the case is, doors, whatever, and they don't have a website, which is kind of crazy if you think about it. Because your brand is you. You need to have one place that you own, that you don't rent, that is yours. I agree with that.
Yeah, absolutely. Website, just if you don't do any marketing, let's say you don't do any inbound marketing, no funnel, you still want a website. If nothing else, just for credibility, right? People are going to go and search online. They're going to want to check you out, make sure you're real, legit, and so forth. After that, reviews, another key component to building that reputation, right? So a website with some testimonials, reviews, it's a must. You got to have credibility. People buy people, and they do business with people they trust, Kenner.
Yeah, okay, let's talk about that. I've been reading a lot about that lately. Let's talk about reviews. When you say reviews, are you talking about Google reviews, or are you talking about Facebook reviews? What specifically are you talking about?
I think they're all really valuable. Google reviews, I think, obviously being online on Google, the king, right? The king of the search engines, I think goes a long way to having a really solid footprint with those reviews. I think it's important too, when you get a review, if you get a great positive review, reply back to it. As an owner, you have an opportunity to reply back to all your reviews. So good reviews, thank them for the review. And then if you get a bad review, please go online, and it gives you an opportunity to tell your case of the story. Don't get into a back and forth pissing match, if you will, but let them know that, hey, you care and you're there to help it, or maybe you don't have record of that person, right? So I think all reviews are great. I think Google starts there, but Facebook, anywhere you can get reviews, have a positive footprint, is going to help you with your reputation and credibility.
Look at Todd.
Always reply back. Always reply back to your reviews.
Look at Todd dropping some gems. So, all right, by the way, before I forget, who are you and how do people get a hold of you if they want your services? That's pretty important.
That's good, Ken. I appreciate that. Todd Baldwin. So we have a full-service digital agency called Investor Nitro. That's our brand on the real estate investor side. Kenner's big in the real estate investor space. We also have our legacy agency name is actually Everyday Media Group, that we've had the past 15 plus years. So I've been in marketing 20 plus years now, been on digital the last 15 or so. But yeah, you can find us online, everydaymediagroup.com or investornitro.com.
And Nitro, I assume, is nitro.com, correct?
Yes, nitro.com. You are correct.
Yeah. Okay, cool. All right. And by the way, give a little bit more information about your expertise in marketing. Do you have a specific niche? And then we're going to go back to reviews. By the way, I'm not going to let you leave that alone. I want to touch base.
Yeah, so that's a great question, because in our world, in our digital agency, we try to stay in our lane. We don't try to be everything to everybody in the digital space, because we talk about the web, it really is a web, right? It just goes on and on and on forever. So what we do a ton of website development. We obviously host and maintain probably 9.9 of those sites we build. You don't have to host with us. We don't hold you hostage, but we prefer so we can control that environment and make sure those sites are updated, maintained, and secure. And then from there, it's about building an inbound funnel, right? How do people go to Google and find you, find the services that you provide, right? So we do a ton of paid ads, pay-per-click on Google, retargeting, display marketing, all the things that Google offers. They also offer a new service, relatively new, called local service ads. And then we also do a lot of what I call high-end SEO, search engine optimization, and Google business profile work as well. That's where people are finding you below those paid ads in the organic space of Google. And then we also do Facebook marketing. So paid ads on Facebook. Love to start with retargeting on Facebook. Great way to start. Someone comes to your website, they leave, they don't interact with you, and we can follow them around on Facebook. They've already engaged, they've already been there, so now let's go follow them around when they log into Facebook, killing time. So that's really what we like to do, Kenner. When I say we stay in our own lane, if you came to me, Kenner, and even though, yes, you're my DMB people, I love you to death, you said, I got $1 million, Todd, to spend with you, a big e-commerce brand, I would say, I'm not the guy to work for you to do that work, but I'll point you in the right direction. I'll find someone that can help you, but I'm not going to do the work because we're not any good in e-commerce. So we're really big on just being 100% transparent with our clients.
Yeah, thanks. And I know you're a good guy. You really are a good guy. You're one of those DMB dudes, so I trust you number one. I've known you for a while. So let's go back to the reviews. I'm going to kind of dive deep on that, if you don't mind.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I like that. I think that's a big one. I think the website, the one you open with, is big. I think reviews are really big. And I'm reading a lot about those now. So do you think it's important to ask for a review almost from every client?
I think it's great. There's a great way to control your reviews, right? So Google does a really good job of trying to make sure reviews are legit, right? So, but there's nothing wrong with asking for reviews. The best time to ask for reviews when you know you've had a good experience with a client, right? You're finishing up that transaction, whatever it is. That's when you want to ask, hey, would you be willing to leave us a review? And there's great tools out there that you can simply text review over, follow up with email, have a follow-up sequence on those reviews as well. Or you can simply copy and paste your link from your own Google business profile, create a simple 2 or 3 sentence email, and just send them out yourself or have someone on your team send those out. It's also okay to follow up on past clients and ask for reviews as well. What you want to watch for, though, Kenner, don't get 20 reviews in one day from your friends and family, because Google will think those are spammy. There's a good chance those will not actually make it to your profile. So there is a strategy too behind it, getting reviews, but really it's about having a process in your organization and making sure someone's asking for those reviews. If they will ask on a continual basis, you'll start to build up a really rich profile. And think about it, if you get 2, 3, 4 a month is all, right? At the end of the year, you're going to have 24, 36, 48 years. You start replicating that over time. Next thing you know, you've got hundreds of, 5-star reviews. And it's okay if you get a bad review or two. It actually, a lot of people say it makes it look more natural, right? Who out there has a perfect record of 5-star reviews? They don't. We have one bad review in our own profile. We have an owner response there. And we've never heard of the guy. He's never replied back. So we'd like to try to practice what we preach. But yeah, reviews are great. Just follow up and then ask for reviews.
Yeah, we're trying to automate it because we've been around since 1969 doing tax and finance and stuff, and we haven't really asked. And finally, we decided, well, wait a minute, let's automate it and let's make it a total part of our process. I mean, even our podcast partners, as we call them, they're a part of it. We're going to ask for a Google review in our case, or Facebook review, depending on the circumstance.
Send me a request. I'll be happy to leave you one. And it's funny you mentioned automation. There's a lot of tools out there. I know you're the king of AI, or like you're the king of AI. You love AI.
Love it.
If you guys build a little widget where you've got an automated process, send it over, because I'd like to look at it and possibly use it as well. So it's just about asking. We struggle with it at times. We go through phases where we're asking really regular, and then we stop. We have to remind ourselves, hey, we got to practice what we preach, because we want our clients to get reviews. Reviews are really, Google reviews, the reason why they're so powerful, they will help your profile. It's one of the ranking factors for your profile to actually start ranking on page 1. So that's why I think Google reviews are crucial. But get Bing reviews, get Google reviews. At least one of my favorite, the one I like the least, can't talk today, Kenner, is Yelp. I'm not a big Yelp fan.
Why? Oh, now that's interesting because we just started on Yelp. So why don't you like Yelp? Because
Yeah,
go for
and
it.
so I've heard a lot of. I haven't dug into Yelp in the last year or so, but the number one complaint I got from people about reviews was from Yelp. And what I've heard, and this could be wrong, I don't want Yelp to, say I'm slandering them, but Yelp has paid advertising programs, right? And I've seen this with my own eyes, where if you're doing a paid program with them, your reviews show up nice and shiny and pretty.
Wow.
If you cancel that campaign, I have seen this, and I've been told that your good reviews magically disappear and bad reviews show, right? So your bad reviews are now front and center. And I've actually demonstrated this. Now, this was probably 3 or 4 years ago, so it may have changed. But I went and investigated with the client, and I did find his good reviews. So I found his free profile on Yelp. His bad reviews were showing front and center. And I had to drill down 2 or 3 clicks on his account through Yelp to find his good reviews. So they were still there. But to me, it seemed like they buried them. It's almost like a punishment. Hey, you're not paying us anymore, so we're going to punish your review. So, again, I'm not a Yelp expert, but it's my least favorite. So I would just say really dig into how their platform works and be careful, because you don't want to get penalized because you're no longer paying to be an advertiser. That's why Google, you don't have to pay Google a penny. You can still have Google Business Profile. It's your name, business listing online on Google, and you can have reviews without ever having to pay Google a dime in their marketing side of their search engine. Hope you follow me there. I got a little long-winded, Kenner.
No, I like that. Oh, that's interesting about Yelp, because we've been with Yelp for a while, and then long story, we changed credit cards, so it died off. But I haven't seen if that's affected everything. We just re-signed up with them. That's
check it out. Hopefully they've changed that and they're not punishing. But I would literally have people talk to me, clients really upset with Yelp, and it was the same story over and over. I used to advertise with them. I had great reviews, and now all my great reviews are buried, and the only reviews that show when you find my free profile is my bad reviews. So anyway, that's my take on Yelp. But yeah, just get reviews. Just anywhere you can get them, I think, is a huge plus.
I think you have to, and you have to remind people, because it takes work to go and do the Google review. You have to remind people. You might say, hey, in our system, I know what we're going to be doing. We're saying, hey, we want to review, and then we have 2 different ways. We have this flashy thing, and then we have this kind of boring one, and then we have something automated that is going to be following up with the person, because everyone forgets. I think that's also important. You got to kind of keeping on them.
Yeah, follow up. We have so we'll send out a request, and I think we have a 2-cycle sequence. We'll follow it 2 times, and then we leave them alone. I think it's to us. I don't want to just keep hounding somebody. So I've asked for a review, we didn't get it. I asked again, asked a 3rd time. Hey, let's move on to the next one.
Yeah.
On Google, they've got to be logged into their Google account to actually leave a review. So
that's exactly right. And most of our people are Google, but
yeah. Right. One thing I like about Google, one login for all platforms. So I'm in my I'm logged into Gmail 24/7, so I can always leave a review. Send me the link, Kenner, and I'll leave you a review.
But you'll get it automatically. Don't worry about that. Which is awesome. At least I'm telling you in advance. By the way, we make it look like it's completely like normal, like me writing an email and then a text. It's very casual,
Absolutely. A lot of our reviews come directly from me too, or our requests. So it's just we've got several different formats that we push those out. But yeah, I mean, if you got someone on your team that doesn't, obviously they'll face contact business or whatnot, have them push out reviews with their name too.
Well, for us, it happens automatically. I just put a tag in our system, and it sends it automatically.
Nice.
Right? The flashy one comes from our company, but the normal one comes from me personally, theoretically. It is personal because I'm the one who drafted all that, by the way.
Yeah. How many Google reviews do you have, Kenner? Do you know?
No, we only have 21. I think it's 21.
21. There you
go. We have 2 bad ones. One was warranted. Our consultant totally screwed up. The other one, we fired a guy, but. I mean, we have 4.5, so it's in line with what you're saying. It is what it is. You know what I mean? We have good reviews.
It looks real.
Yeah, totally. Okay, so website. Let's say about 5 to 10 more minutes, if that's okay. Do you have 5-10 more minutes? Yeah. We talked about website, which I think you have to have a website. I mean, that's kind of a no-brainer. Yeah. And by the way, you have to have a good one that you're updating all the time that's accurate, I would say, right? And
that's a great point, Jared. That's a great point. So once you build your website or your website's live, it's really website version 1.0, right? I think it's always important every couple of years to be refreshing that site if you're not doing any yearly updates, right? So make sure that site is always being updated, always kept up to date with what your organization is doing, and you got updated pictures and so forth. So
I'm going to take that a step further, by the way. Obviously, you're the marketing guy, but what we do is we update it every single day. We put all our podcasts on there. We always put new content up there every single day because we want it to be fresh. Because I hate going to websites and the stuff's 10 years old, right? I want brand new stuff. I want podcasts. I want the summary of the podcast. So hopefully it'll be found by Google, pretty quickly. You know what I mean?
100%.
Okay. All right. I like that. So we're talking about website, important. Reviews, important. Give me number 3 thing that's going to blow everyone away. That's going to make so much sense that every entrepreneur is going to be like, I want to do business with the big Baldwin.
Well, I think it goes to lead generation, right? So the power of Google, right, is I've got a problem. I'm now searching for a solution. I'm finding someone to help me. It's direct marketing, right? So how are people finding you on Google? Can they find you on Google? There's a lot of businesses that don't need lead generation, or they do it different ways, right? They're not into the digital marketing. They don't need to have a strong presence on Google. But if you're a real estate investor, right, and you're targeting motivated sellers, right? And I'm sitting here, I've now got a house that I got from probate because I had a family member leave, or I'm about to go in foreclosure, or I've got a house that's in distress and I want to sell it, but I don't want to fix it up. Those are all motivated sellers, right? And there's a very good opportunity. They're going to go to Google and start searching sell my house fast, or we buy houses, or cash home buyer, right? And so they're looking for you. And if you're not visible in your market, then they're never going to find you. You're never going to get a lead from a motivated seller that is a really strong lead, because again, they have a problem and they are now looking for a solution. So what is your strategy on lead generation, right? How are you going to be found on Google? That's where we come in as an agency and run those different types of campaigns on Google. And then we can also take that and start putting a strategy together for Facebook, right? Mm-hmm. What's the difference between Facebook and Google? Well, Facebook, my joke is I was on there today, Kenner, but I was on there for no reason, right? I was killing time. So I'm not looking for anybody when I'm personally on Facebook, right? I don't have a problem. I'm trying to find a solution. So now on Facebook, we got to target these people. We got to find the demographic. We got to find the characteristics of the type of client that I'm looking for, and then run paid ad campaigns through their algorithm to try and connect those dots. But just have a strategy so you can get business and really attract that quality lead, right? When that particular, your avatar, your client is actually looking for you. So to us, the website's the foundation of the house, and then we're going to build the house, right? We're going to build that digital footprint where people can actually start finding you on Google. And then let's try to connect the dots. How do they find me on Facebook, right? Because obviously a lot of eyeballs on Facebook, just like Google.
So, all right. So you brought something up that I think is going to be able to wrap this all up pretty well. Okay. So website, reviews, and then you got to be seen. So I think really I'm going to interpret it to be SEO, which I think people know what SEO is, but I think ultimately what you're saying is SEO, right? That's a big component of what you're talking about.
Paid search is a big component too. The difference is paid search is we're now going to pay Google every time someone clicks on your ad. So these paid search ads are at the top of the search engine, right? And so what's powerful about paid ads is that I can be at the top of the search engine for someone searching sell my house fast in Seattle, right? Mm-hmm. I can be there today, right? Now I got to pay Google. If someone clicks on my ad up there, I'm going to pay Google for that click, right? But then it's going to redirect to my website with the target or the goal, obviously, that they're going to call you or fill out a web form on your site. So paid ads is the quickest way to start getting traction from Google, but it can also be pricey because all those revenue numbers, all that $1 gajillion that you see Google making, it's all coming from their paid platform.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, people don't know. Yeah.
So one of the strategies that we do is we're really trying to protect Google or protect our clients from Google giving bad traffic, delivering bad clicks, which is just costing money that'll never convert, right? And so big strategy behind that. I'm a big believer, everybody works hard for the money. So we got to spend money on Google, but let's make sure it's good money that we're being spent. And then the other strategy, which I think is actually the best lead from Google, paid ads. The leads from paid ads, I think, are the second best lead from Google. The best lead from Google comes from what you just said, organic lead, which is search engine optimization. How do I get my site to magically start ranking on page 1? You build a site, Google crawls the site. Now you're on Google, but you may be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pages back, right? for sell my house fast, that keyword for the example we've been using. How do I now get my website to page one in my market and the cities that I want to target for these, what we call high level keywords that we know that convert? We do all that heavy lifting. It's a long-term play. It's not going to happen overnight. That's why paid ads are so important part of the strategy, because I can be on page one today. And then while we're running those paid ads, let's run an organic campaign and really start doing a heavy lifting to get your site to start moving up the search engine ranks, and let's get to page one. Not just for sell my house fast, but for multiple keywords over time, right? Keywords that convert, that actually have real traffic.
Yeah.
This Skinner kind of gets long-winded. I told you it's a web. Remember I told you that? You start talking here and it goes here, here. No pun intended, but the web really is a web when you start talking about digital marketing. So
I like it. What's funny is like marketing is so important. I used to hate marketing, man. Now I love it, but it's so important because what is a business if you think about it? It's two things. It's research and development, i.e. product or service, and then also ultimately marketing. If you can have the coolest product in the world, but if you don't have marketing people out there talking about it, sales, you're not going to get any sales. You know what I mean? And same thing. There's no reason to go out marketing and doing sales if you don't have a good product or a service. So it's, there's no doubt it's important to have good marketing.
Yeah. Doing this so long, and there's so many great clients that we've worked with over the years that have just made $1 kajillion because they were good marketers. They were good businessmen, businesswomen. They had a great plan. They had a great product. They had a great service. They had a great process. But they were also really good at marketing, or had someone like us, partnered with people that did their marketing, which is a great point. The word partnership, that's really our long-term goal there, or our ultimate goal, Kenneth. So when we bring a new client in, we're trying to have that client for a minimum of 18 months. So we really want to build a partnership with our clients where we now become their go-to for their website, make sure it's updated, maintained, any changes, anything to do with that environment. And then that we're also driving in leads that we are actually that are converting into sales, and we'll track every lead. So if you're running a campaign with us, I can tell you if this lead came from your paid campaign, or if it came from your SEO campaign, or if it came from your Facebook campaign, right? And then we can simply see those through the funnel. Obviously, we want feedback from our client. Are these converting into sales? Hopefully it is yes. And then we can start putting that ROI. What's our ROI on our paid campaign? What's our ROI on our SEO campaign? What's our ROI on our Facebook campaign? That's how we keep people for a really, really long time, is what we like to say, have proved that they have an obvious ROI, right? And then 100% transparency is number two, meaning what does the data say, right? What does the data say? Let's make sure we show up for our status calls. Let's make sure our clients know what we did the previous month, what we're going to do the next month, what is the plan, and then great customer service, number three, right? Those are our three components we're kind of deliver day in, day out to all of our clients. I like to say the best customer service on the planet, Kenner. My team, they thought that was too big to put on the website. I said, let's just honor it and live it. And, let's do it. Let's don't be afraid of it. Because I think if you give great service, this, Kenner, you built a great organization, right? You got tons of clients, right? And they're there because you do a good job. You're delivering good returns, good investment strategy, but you also get really great customer service. And I know in the digital world, I think it's really true in the financial world, but in the digital world, people hate to change agencies. It's a pain in the rear to start over with a new agency. So I found if we're delivering on all three, we got them forever. If we're delivering on two of those three I just mentioned, we're gonna have a chance, if one of the other ones aren't working right, to right the ship. If they say, hey, I'm not happy about this or that. Mm-hmm. And so that's our goal. There's a lot of bad agencies out there, Kenner. Our space has a bad name because there's people just what I call they're kind of that shotgun agency. They tell you everything you want to hear, right? They hope and pray you'll sign up, and then they hope and pray they can keep you, right? And so we just try to work in a totally different way. Let's just be 100% transparent. Let's talk about the data. Let's prove that ROI, and then let's really take care of our client.
I think a lot of people sometimes don't respect marketing agencies because they pop up. There's no barrier to entry, and they're it's a newer industry per se. So you might have someone, no offense against someone who's brand new in it, but you might have someone who just hung out a shingle or a website 6 days ago, and they're saying they're the coolest because they're into marketing. I don't know.
Yeah,
someone's been around for 10 years. You know what I mean?
There's a lot of one-man bands that say they're full service agencies, and they're really it's just them. And so and they're just people that are desperate. They need money, so they're going to promise the moon. And one of the things I'll give a key tip. So we talked about organic search engine optimization, right?
Mhm.
And how do you move your website up to page 1, right?
Yep.
Google doesn't tell you how to do that, right? They don't make any money on their organic rankings on page 1 or page 2, 3, 4, right? So, but Google became Google because when back in the day, when you search something on Google, you got really good results, right? Really relevant results. Those were all organic results. This is before paid ads. This is in the really early days. So those organic listings or rankings are really important to Google because it keeps users coming back. But if you're ever talking to an agency and they're talking about SEO, search engine optimization, and they start promising you things like, hey, Kenner, in 90 days, I guarantee you I'll have you on page 1, or in 60 days, I'm going to have you on page 1, I promise. Those are red flags. You want to run as fast as you can from that agency, because in reality is they can't guarantee you anything. I never use the word guarantee when I'm talking to a new client about SEO, because I'm at the mercy of Google. They have algorithm updates. It shuffles the deck. We may be top of page 1, and all of a sudden we drop to top of page 2 because they had an update. So what we do is just acknowledge that, and here's how we're going to do. Here's what our strategy is, try to fix that. But run away from the agencies that start guaranteeing results in that organic space, because they are lying to you, because they can't guarantee you anything. I can guarantee you'll be on page 1 if we're doing paid ads, because I'm paying Google to be there.
Exactly.
Yeah. So anyway, that's just I get a little passionate about this, and I start my web starts going crazy. Kenner, I'm back to the web.
Yeah, you're the web. I get you.
Yeah, just stay away from those guys. Those are the bad apples that give our industry a bad name.
Yeah, I get it. I totally. Okay, what about in closing? So let's get ready to land this. So what percent? Right. You know how they say in a wedding ring for a man, or I guess for a man to buy his fiance, no, to be fiance, a ring, they have to spend 2 or 3 times a monthly salary, or I think it's 3 months salary. That's what it is, right? How much should someone spend on marketing in general, in your estimation, as a business owner?
That's a great question, and I don't know if I.
No, I need a number, dude. I need a number.
I don't know if I have a good response to that, because I think every business, I think it all kind of depends. I can't give you feedback on that, and I might even be a little bit embarrassed that I don't have a number to throw out there. But I think, we look at every client as they're coming in, case by case. But I will tell you, if I'm talking to a real estate investor, right, and he wants to target, let's say, Fort Worth, Texas. I want to do a paid ad campaign. I'll target all of Fort Worth, Texas, which is about 800,000 people. And he says that, and I'm like, what is your budget to put with Google? Because we have a budget. We got to have a budget with Google. We got to pay Google for the clicks. And then we're obviously charging a management fee to run that campaign. And if he tells us, I got $1,000 a month, we don't have enough money. Just flat out, there's not enough money. We're not ready to do paid search, right? So, because I think businesses are different. It depends on what city you're in, how big of the geographic area you're trying to target. So what you need to have budget-wise or spend-wise or formulas based off revenue, I just think it's different in every case and every size of business. So we typically don't operate off, you need to be spending, X amount of percentage of your gross revenue. I think all businesses are different. If your gross revenue is $10 million, but you're losing money, well, you have no percentage to spend, right? So
yeah, that's true too.
So anyway, that's my theory on that. But we're real big on telling clients, hey, if you're not ready, or if you don't have the budget, don't do it. If a guy goes into a paid search campaign or a company business and they're like, I got to have a deal in the next 30 days, they're not ready. You have to have a budget set aside. Your mind has to be free. Let us go to work and prove value over time.
Well, I get it. That's fair.
Kind of worked my way right out. I'm not answering that question, didn't I?
Yeah, I know. That was good. You did a good job there.
No, I just think every case is different, but we definitely talk about budget and if they're ready or not. And sometimes they're not ready. And we don't want to waste money. We don't want to waste their money and have a negative experience. Again, I'm trying to keep clients for 18 months or longer. Yeah. We've got several real estate investors in that particular vertical. We've been in for 8 years, and I've got clients that have been with us for 8 years, really since day one. First day we got a chance to present to WeBuyHouses.com, a national brand, back in October of 2016. Had several guys sign up that day. They're still with us today. So that's what we're looking for, long-term partnerships that we can help their business grow.
That's my boy right there, man. So one last time, how does someone get a hold of you?
investornitro.com or everydaymediagroup.com. We're on the web. You'll find us. Piece of cake, Todd Baldwin. And that's it, Kenner. It's been fun chatting with you. One question for you, Kenner.
Ask away, my young friend.
How many Dave Matthews Band shows have you been to?
111, I think it is, last count.
Wow.
I need more. I need more.
111. Yeah, no, that's awesome. Kenner, I will see you on the road, I'm sure, soon in the spring. Hopefully the boys will be back on tour. But thanks for having me on, man. It's been fun chatting with you.
Thanks, man. Yeah, and everyone, hey, this is Kenner French signing off. You're listening and watching Fast Voices, telling business secrets to entrepreneurs. Thanks, everybody.